Hello, my name is Avery, and in this short video, I'm going to show you how to tune your ukulele. It's really important that we make sure our instruments are tuned before we play because it's sort of the building block off of which we build all the chords that we want to play. They won't sound good if we don't have our strings all tuned to the notes that they need to be tuned to. Now, they're each named for a particular note name, and notes in music are named after letters. And what's sort of unique is these letters only go from A through G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then as we progress through the alphabet, they get higher. So A is sort of on the lower end of things, and as we move through the alphabet, the tones get higher and higher. When we get to G and we want to get a tone higher than G, we start over at A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. So the note names that you need to remember for your ukulele strings are, starting with the string that's closest to me here, G, C, E, and A. Now they're a little bit out of order because those notes repeat themselves. So we might have, here's a C, that's kind of on the low end. You continue up the scale, C, D, E is a little bit higher, F, G, and now I want to go a step higher, so I need to start over at A, and there's A. That's higher than the C, even though A comes before C. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so G, C, E, and A. And the way that I remember this is I've come up with a little silly sentence, and I say, good cows eat apples. Now, of course, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if good cows eat apples. I don't even know if there's such a thing as good cows and bad cows, but it's a way for me to remember what notes I need to tune the strings to on my ukulele. So in order to do that, I adjust the strings by moving these tuning pegs. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to use my Snark tuner. I recommend the Snark brand, and I'll show you why. The screen, I think, is really helpful to keep an eye on whether our notes are too high or too low. So I'm going to put it up here at the top of my ukulele where I can kind of turn the screen towards me and see it. And then I'm going to bring the camera around and kind of zoom in so you can see what I'm looking at as I tune my ukulele. All right, we've got a little zoomed in here. Before we start, I want to just also remind you of the physics, the basic sort of science of how sound works on the ukulele, because it's going to be important as you are turning your tuning pegs to adjust the tuning for your string, to remember that when I pluck a string, right, the sound is made by the string sort of oscillating back and forth. And that's based on the length of the string. This is, I'm plucking the C string right here, comes up here to this tuning peg. Now, if I turn the tuning peg one way, it's going to tighten the string, and that means when I pluck the string and it oscillates, the tone is going to go up because it's tighter. You can hear the tone start to go up. If I let it go, if I go the other way and I loosen it up, you can hear the tone start to go down. That's really important to remember because you're going to run into situations where the note that you're looking for is either above the note where you are or below the note where you are, and you're going to need to adjust the tuning peg. So just a quick little science lesson there. Let's get started. So here's my Snark tuner here. I'm going to press the button, and it's already lighting up. That's great. I'm going to start with G here, and I'm going to pluck it repeatedly, but leaving enough space to really let the sound ring out so the tuner can pick up the vibration. And as you can see, it says the letter G, and it's pretty much right there on that green line in the middle. Now, what I love about this particular screen is that you've got the note name that the tuner is picking up. Then you also have this space on either side. Now, if I were to loosen up the string and it would start to go low, you see it's down here in this orange area. That means it's gone too low. That means it's flat. We call it flat, like a flat tire is what I think of. So it needs to go up. I need to tighten it a little bit. As I tighten it, you'll see the lights light up. It gets closer and closer to the green line in the middle until I get there. And it is natural that it will flicker a little bit because when you first pluck the string, it may oscillate faster and then kind of settle into a pattern. It's wherever it kind of settles after you first pluck it there. Great. So there we are. If I were too high, that's what we call sharp, like a pencil that's too sharp, it will go up into this yellow territory up here. So you'll know by the letter that you're very close there, but you just need to adjust it slightly. I'm going to let it go down this way a little bit. There it is. All right. Now, I am very curious what's happened to my C string because I was kind of messing around with it. Oh, it's not too bad. As you can see, I'm very close. I've got the letter C there, but it's a little bit into the yellow, so it's too sharp. It's a little bit too high. I have to let the string out a little bit. Here's my tuning peg for that. I'm going to let that down a little bit. And they say that it's best for the string if you go past that. If it's too sharp, you go past the center point and then tune from the bottom, tune up. Apparently that is best for the string. So that's what I do. Now we're going to move on. Next we're looking for E. And that's pretty much right on target. And the next one, A, is maybe, just a tad bit sharp. I'll take it down a little bit and kind of readjust it, make sure it's right in the middle. And it should be okay. Now, it's very common sometimes that your note, let's say my E string is so flat that it's got a totally different letter registered. Now remember, our letters go in order, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if I'm trying to get to E, but I see a D there, that means that I'm way low. I'm so low, I'm at a different note, and I need to tune it up to get to the next note letter, up to E. Same thing happens if I go too high. Now all of a sudden, I'm at F, and F is one note beyond E in the alphabet, so that means it's going to be too high. I'm going to need to bring it down. It's too sharp, so I'm bringing it down, way too sharp, right? So I'm bringing it down, it's still a little sharp, all the way down to just underneath, and then tune it back up to make sure it's right where it needs to be. And finally, the last thing to watch out for is that this happens a lot on the A string. Remember that the pattern repeats, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So oftentimes, if my A string here is flat and it shows a G, that does not mean that it's really, really sharp, right? That it's going, I have to go all the way back down to the low A. It means that it's actually flat, it's low, and I need to go up to the next A. So that's just a little thing to watch out for, especially on that A string, that A is actually right next to G, and if you are looking for A and you get G, you're actually lower than you need to be, not higher, even though G does come after A in the alphabet. It's one of those wonderful, miraculous, fascinating things about music that can drive us all crazy. All right. I think that's all you need to know about tuning. You're more than welcome, if there's something that I've missed out in this video, to send me an email on the contact page on this website. Otherwise, happy playing. I think you're ready for practice if you're all tuned up. Enjoy.